Good morning, everyone. Obviously, it's the next day, and this is what we got going on. We're still working on this. Got a little tired last night, so I didn't really finish much, but putting the rocks and artificial driftwood in there, even though I wish it was real driftwood. I did wake up today and I put some of the plants in there. Let me flip this around and put some of the plants in there that I did have, kind of stirred it up a little bit, made it a little bit cloudy. And I kind of moved that around a little bit. Got some bubbles and stuff going on right here and everywhere else, but it's only been about 12 hours since the tank has been set up. But it's not too cloudy. You can see all the way to the other side right now. I went ahead and put the plants in that I did have, and I spread them out as best as I could. But I just was not very happy with it, because it's just such a big tank and it needs more to fill it all up. So today I probably should have took you guys with me. I ran back to the Feeder Supply and Pets Plus. I got what I could. And this tank here, it's looking pretty good. It's thriving all right. I'm starting to get a little bit of an allergy or something right down here and a little bit right over there. But we'll take care of that. It's a fresh tank. But today I'm gonna go ahead and add some fish to this tank. It's doing pretty good. Everything looks all right. And I went and picked up some more plants that I want to put in this tank here. Of course, I'm not going to put any live fish or anything yet. I'm going to hold off before I put any fish in there. But right now, it's looking all right. It's not exactly where I want it. I'm going to have to order a few of the things I want. Plus, I got some other things on the way for the tank. I'm just waiting on it all to get here. So, let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff that I got, and I'll show it to you guys. I don't exactly know the name of all of it. I kind of forgot, but I'll show you guys what I got. All right, so here's some of the stuff I picked up. I picked up some Java moss. I just wanted to get a little more color in there, and I heard it's pretty good when you're starting a tank and cycling it out. So I grabbed a couple of those. I got some grasses to go in here. They were just remnants from other pieces at the store, so they're not really looking that great, but we'll get them back to looking good. The lady said they were remnants from pieces they'd sold at the pet store, and they just let them sit in there and try to grow. And I've got several different kind of plants in here, 7 different plants in here. So once I open this up, I'll show them to you a little bit better. I know I've got some grasses and some, I don't know, just whatever's in there. But this one is some dwarf grass, which is the same grass that's inside that tank on that rock right there. So I got 2 of those to go into the larger tank. Right here, I picked up some, I forgot what these are called. I picked up 16 of these. These are to help cycle the tank a little bit better. They may die, I'm not positive, but grab some of these here. These are just a bunch of little Tetras to also help cycle the tank. Got some Dalmatian Mollies, I believe these ones are called. I got 4 of them. Hopefully they live as well. We don't know yet, but we will find out. So yeah, guys, that's what I picked up today so that we can start getting a little bit of life in these tanks and get them going. Guess I better get started, and I guess I'll set the fish in there and let them acclimate for about 30 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and set some of these bags in here. See them. It doesn't look like there's 16 of them in there, but they're really tiny and they're in there. But we're just gonna let these guys start to help cycle this tank a little bit. I'd like to put some in this water over here, but this water is just freezing because we've got a bit of an ice storm, as I said in the last video. So it looks like snow, but it's not. It was just raining ice all night long. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the trees are just still pretty much covered in ice. We've had worse ice storms than this, but it wasn't too bad. It was good enough to go out driving around, do what I need to do today. So anyways, back to the fish. All right, we're gonna set these guys in here too, these Tetras, and let them acclimate. There they are. It's gonna look kind of cool with a little bit of life in here. You know, that's that dwarf grass I was talking about. The ones I got today were a little bit greener. That's got a little bit of brown in it. And it was like that when I bought it, so hopefully it'll get a little healthier and perk back up. And then these plants here, right there, I bought some more of those. What are these called? These are called Radican swords. And I believe that's what several of those plants are, but they're different types of swords. Got a little bit of bamboo, in the back there. And then I got a little bit more of this stuff right here. I'm not sure what it's called either, but I got more of that. And let's get these other fish. These are the Dalmatian Mollies. There's 4 of them in here, but let's set them in the tank and let them start to acclimate as well. There you go. Oh, watch out, we got Selena there. But there's the 4 Dalmatian Mollies. They're actually pretty good sized mollies. So we've got all these fish. We're gonna let these fish all sit in here, I don't know, I'd say 30, 45 minutes maybe. And then I'll release them and let them enjoy their new tank as long as they live. So we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting some of the other plants that we picked up down in this tank. I just love how you can see down in here so well. I like these big lids. Good job to PetSmart on selling this tank. It's really not too bad of a price if anybody wants to check them out. They've got them at PetSmart. You can also order them online. It is 125 gallons. Comes with the stand, the tank, the lids, and the 2 lights. They're LED lights. It's not the lightest fish tank in the world. It's pretty heavy. But yeah, it's not a bad deal. If anybody else wants to check them out, they have them at PetSmart. If you've got a local PetSmart, if not, you can always order it online, and I believe it can ship right to your house, or you can pick it up in the nearest city or location that has one on hand. Yeah, check them out if you guys are interested. So I don't really know that you need to let plants acclimate. I'm all close to my face. I don't know if you need to really let plants acclimate, but I'm gonna go ahead and just let them sit in there anyways, because this water in the 125 gallon tank, it's pretty cold. I filled it up last night with the water hose while it was raining ice, and I believe it was like 27 degrees outside or something like that. But the water's pretty cold. It does have a heater in it. The heater's been on for about 12 hours or so. Thank you, Selena. It's warmed up a little bit. That was the reason I started to put some of the plants in there that are already in there. Like I was saying, which are those ones back there. I don't know that I really placed them perfectly, but right now those little reddish purplish ones, those grow to like, I believe 12 to 24 inches tall in time, of course. So I can always move things around as I need, as long as the root systems don't go too crazy and spread out underneath there too much. But I tried to stack things on, it shows on the package what heights that they can possibly grow up to. So like these ones here are actually the largest ones, and these here, they get to about the same height. So I wanted to put all the larger plants to the back, which like I said, once they get to about, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches, I'll probably move them a little further back so I can have the shorter plants here in the front. But when we get to that day, we'll get there. I guess I'm just gonna let these grasses and other plants just sit in here for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then I'll pop them open and start putting them in their place. Yes, I do have those. I showed them. I got the moss, which I believe I'm gonna have to take this thing back out of the water because I wanna put the moss on it to make it kind of have like a more natural look. But I know it's gonna float everywhere, so I'm gonna take those out. I'm gonna put these on, and I'm gonna wrap them with a thread to help hold them on. Hopefully I have some green thread. If not, I know I have some green fishing string, 125-pound test, so I know it's not coming off, or they're gonna break on me. Got working on it right now, so let's wait a little while and I'll get back with you guys and let you guys watch me release all these fish and start putting the plants in this tank. It's been about 20 minutes that the fish have been, right there, fish have been acclimating. I ran to the dollar store real quick. I needed to grab some Gorilla Glue, so that way I can glue the moss down to the artificial driftwood that I got. That way it doesn't float everywhere and just go all over the place. So I went ahead and picked this up so that I can glue it on there. It doesn't hurt the fish. It's safe in the water. It dries pretty quick and it's waterproof. So I'm gonna go ahead and I believe pull this out. I'm gonna set it down here on this towel, let it dry for a little bit. Then we will go ahead and put the moss on there. So I went ahead and pulled this log out and that rock. I'm probably gonna have to redo all of those right there. But I didn't want to get too sidetracked and on what I'm doing over here and leave those guys sitting in the bag too long. They've been in there now about 35, 40 minutes. So I think we're gonna go ahead and start releasing them and let them swim around, check out their new environment, see how they do. Hopefully they live, maybe they won't. Either way, it's okay. I'll go ahead and start with these. I'm gonna start with the oh yeah, I didn't know what these were called earlier, but these are the guppies. I couldn't remember what they were, but they are guppies. I was told they're a good fish to start out in your tank. They are relatively cheap. I think they were like 20 cents a piece. So, you know, if they don't make it, you know, it's nothing that's gonna break the bank there on that. So I know people usually will pour out the excess water, but I mean, this is the water they come in. You know, I need to add a little tiny bit of water, so this might do it. Go ahead and dump all this water in there. Like I said, I'm just starting this tank out, so we'll just see where it takes us. I'm gonna go ahead and release them over here. Got my wife Vanessa, we're doing some recording there while I let these guys out. So let's go ahead and drop them all in there. Hopefully we get them all. Make sure I got them all. Nope, got one in the bag still. He's the tiniest one in there. There we go, he's in my hand flopping around. There he goes. He gets stuck to the lid for a second. They're really tiny. There's 16 of them. So we'll let those guys get acquainted with the tank here. Let them find their little current zones and everything, which there's not too much current in here right now, just on this side. Once the larger fish tank's filtration canister comes in, I'll be taking the filter that's on that tank, which is the same as this one. It actually only does 30 to 60 gallons. So I'm gonna add it to this tank, so it will have 2 of those on here. Hopefully that'll help with keeping the filtration really good and keeping it a lot cleaner. I'm sure I'll have to still do a little bit of manual cleaning on it, but it's fine, it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess we'll let the Tetras all out. I think this time I'm gonna take the rubber band off the bag and just pour them in there so I don't get any of them caught up in there. If I can get this rubber band off, they put it on there pretty well. I think what I'm gonna do is leave the bag down in there. Open it up some and kind of let them all just kind of find their own way on out. So there's 10 of those guys, so that's 26 fish right now. And I think I'm gonna also do the same thing with the Dalmatian Mollies. I don't know if they're called Dalmatian Mollies or Domino Mollies. I believe it was Dalmatian Mollies. I guess if you guys want, you can leave it down in the comments if I was wrong. Of course, this rubber band is like super tight. I'm gonna go ahead and tear this bag. Rip a big hole in it and let them all find their way out. There's 4 of them, so 4 of them and 26, there's 30 fish in there. That should help this tank cycle a little better. I know I've got my pH good, and the state we live in, the water is just hard. It's just hard water where we live at, so it is what it is on that. I've gotten it a little bit softer. My nitrates and my nitrites, they're not perfect yet, but they're kind of in the safe zone. And alkalinity, it was a little high. I did a water change, so hopefully it's in an all right place right now. No, look, I just noticed there's 2 tiny little baby snails on those plants I got right there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'll find out.
I think you can see them.
Yeah, they're real tiny right there. And then right behind this stem back here is another one. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. Look at that, there's 30 fish in here and it still looks like there's nothing, but they're just really tiny fish is all it is. So I guess we will find out how well they will do in there. Hopefully we don't lose too many if we do lose any. So we'll just let these guys check out their new home and see how well they do. It seems like right now everybody's doing just fine. I kind of thought these little fish would school up together, but I guess right now they're all just kind of like, hey, what's going on? Now all the Tetras over there, they're all hanging out together. They're like, no.
Yeah, they're kind of staying in this corner.
Yeah, they like that rock over there. They got the holes and everything to swim in, and it's a little hiding space. So So I'm sure in maybe about an hour or so they'll all start to venture around and do better. And these mollies are staying together also. The mollies might eat the guppies. I don't know. We'll find out. Which if they do, it's okay. Hopefully they don't. But they got plenty of space in here, so we'll see. This is a 55 gallon. It's more than enough space for all of them. That's that tank for the day, so I guess we'll move on to the 125 and I will start gluing the moss and everything onto the artificial driftwood that we got. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this Java moss here. Its origin is Asia and India. Its position is for ground, low light. It says its growth is slow, temperature of 72 to 83 degrees Fahrenheit, and the difficulty on it is easy. So I guess what we're gonna do is, I can't remember the guy's name. I wanna say it's Thick Fish Aquariums or Thick Fishing or Thick Aquatics or something like that. Off YouTube, I had seen him do something very similar to this, and what he did was he used like a green thread. I don't have thread, but I do have a green 200-pound test line for a fishing rod, and I can use that just as well. I don't know if you guys can see it there. It's that green line there, so it'll kind of blend in a little bit. And we're gonna use that, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna place some of the moss here just along the log, just kind of to help give it a more natural look to it. Hopefully that's kind of what I'm going for. I know the log is kind of gonna, I know I'm kind of close to it, but it's gonna kind of sit more up a little bit. So I'm not gonna do the whole log. I'm just gonna kind of do this back area, maybe a little bit on this bottom spot here and on this part here. And I'm also gonna use some glue, some Gorilla Glue. It's safe in the water. It's not unsafe for the fish or anything. So I'm gonna put it on there just to help everything stick, because this stuff will float around and go crazy and go everywhere. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, well, first of all, I'm gonna put you guys into a time lapse so you don't gotta sit here and watch me forever do this. That didn't quite go as planned, but it's all right. It wasn't that bad. It was a little irritating, but I got it done. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, I feel like I should let that sit a little bit and dry up. It says that it's waterproof, but I'm impatient, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it back in the tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find a way to restack the rocks that are just in this little area right here where that is going to go back down in there. I don't know if that looks pretty good or not. What you guys think? I don't know. It's all right. Over time, you won't be able to see the string because the moss is going to keep growing. Hopefully it doesn't get too out of hand and out of control, because if it does, I'm just gonna keep plucking it out of the tank and throwing it away. Put this back in there and see what we're gonna do next. Okay, so I got all that stuff put in. Had a little bit of difficulties here and there. Like I said, to put that moss on that log, I use green fishing string. I also use some Gorilla Glue, which looks like it's drying up pretty well in there. It says it was waterproof. I went ahead and placed all of the plants, I don't know, where I felt they would grow best and would look best and get the best light. I may move things around over time. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I'm all right with it. It looks good to me. Water got a little bit of cloudy from moving all the things around and pulling things out, putting things back in, but everything will settle over time. Can't wait to get the rest of the other plants and other things I want to put in here, and mainly the filtration system. It's on its way. It says 2 of the filters that I had ordered to go with the new system has already been shipped, so we will see. I know that it said that the moss was a ground cover, but I just thought it would look good on the log versus on the ground because I like my black sand. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I got everything placed where I want it so far, like I said. Like I said, still, it made it a little bit cloudy today messing with it. All of that will settle within the next day, or maybe by tomorrow, maybe today. Because it's not that cloudy. So, got all the moss on there. And of course, you can still see the strings just a little bit, but it's okay. All that's gonna, over time, come on off of there. That's the moss I glued down at the bottom. But it looks pretty good. It adds a little bit more color. It goes well with that rock. You can see those strings there, but like I said, all that moss is gonna keep growing and you won't see it over time. And if need be, I'll clip it all off of there. I am satisfied. Like I said, this is my, well, we have a couple other freshwaters, but I've set all of the freshwater tanks up within the last 2 weeks, and this is where I'm at now. So, satisfied. Just can't wait for everything to start growing, getting a little bigger, things to start settling, quit floating around. Everybody's getting along well in there. It looks nice and good and clear. Gotta pull that tag there out of there. I just left it in there. Got all the little fish just hanging out. I'm not sure where all of the, oh God, oh, there they all are. They're all hanging out up top up there, chewing on that leaf. I guess they like to eat the vegetation. There's a molly up there. Guppies, that's what they are, the guppies. So yeah, everything seems to be doing pretty well. I moved the grass from up here to down here. It needed to be in the sand. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging with me. And here, you want to say hi? You and Paris want to say hi? Thanks for hanging with me and checking out our aquarium, and hopefully you guys like it. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and maybe drop a comment or two if you guys got any ideas or anything we should try out or do. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me. All right, have a good one. Peace.